First of all, let me warn the listeners who haven't seen the movie yet. This podcast contains spoilers. It will be better for them to listen to the podcast after watching the movie. In the Aisles, in Den GÄNGEN, is a film directed by Thomas Stuber, starring Franz Rogowski and Sandra Hüller. The director tells a love story through themes of social alienation, lack of communication, and loneliness in modern societies. The film is divided into 3 parts, each named after a main character: Christian, Marion, and Bruno. As expected, the story progresses through their lives in these parts. The film starts with the opening of a supermarket. We watch the forklifts dance to the tune of The Blue Danube. Then we see Christian, who has just started working, in a small ceremony where he gets his apron. In this supermarket, which resembles a cave, the all-German staff rarely interacts with customers. Mostly, they spend their days restocking shelves and moving around with forklifts. In this dystopian atmosphere, the blue-collar workers are like Sisyphus, endlessly refilling empty shelves every day. Thomas Stuber doesn't like exaggeration or big acting. He prefers to show the deep loneliness of the characters in a minimal and natural way. The cameras roaming between the shelves sometimes capture a cough or a glance that subtly suggests deep-seated loneliness and past tragedies. We know everyone has come here because of some tragedy in their lives, but we don't know the reasons. Stuber doesn't openly show his metaphors. Only on a second viewing do we notice the sound of the ocean, a symbol of freedom and the outside world, in Christian and Marion's first meeting. Throughout the film, we feel the deep loneliness of lives lived without daylight. Marion and Christian find life in the possibility of love amidst this deep loneliness. I say possibility because Marion is married and doesn't want to move forward. Christian, on the other hand, waits shyly without taking a step back. This possibility of love symbolizes the character's attempts to hold on to life. The supermarket inhabitants, who seem to have taken refuge in a dystopia, are quite controlled, hard-working, and reserved. Everyone knows everything, so nothing can stay hidden. Even though they keep their distance from each other, they quietly and kindly look out for one another. There is an unexpected hidden solidarity in this social environment. Instead of the lack of empathy and the negative emotions like jealousy, anger, and ambition that you might expect from asociality, we see a unique humanity living among the shelves. We rarely see them lose control, maybe when they eat from the trash in a hopeless, uncontrolled way, or drink and arrive late to work because of heartbreak. This scene was a testament to German discipline. We don't know anyone's story. Only Bruno and Christian tell each other things, but these don't turn out to be true, or are contradictory. Christian tells different stories about his imprisonment to Marion and Bruno. Bruno says he has a wife, but then it turns out he isn't married, so we can't know how much of what they tell each other is real, how much is longing or fantasy. On the other hand, these lies reveal their inner fragility and vulnerability to social pressures. These are lies told to appear strong or not to seem weak. Despite this reserve about personal space, they look out for each other. They are quite stingy with self-compassion. The neglect of their homes seems like a reflection of their inner worlds. To me, the setting resembles the environment described in Habermas's theory of the colonization of the life world, where he talks about the loss of the public sphere for people. The workers in the film have no connection with the system. We don't see any authority figure, but we know an authority is watching the whole system. Their life worlds are completely detached from the system, which dominates the space and controls their life worlds in every aspect. However, they can secretly smoke and talk in the toilet or the goods receiving area. Habermas's argument is similar. The expulsion of the life world from the public sphere and its pacification by mass culture has compressed people's private lives and privacy into very narrow areas into their spare time. Between the characters, in Habermas's terms, we feel the lack of communicative action aimed at reaching understanding. The characters' distant, awkward, and inept relationships point to alienation. The director's reference to the characters' earlier life tragedies may be because of this. The destruction of private lives, being captive to mass culture, can cause alienation, introversion, and a state of non-communication in people, making them reluctant to share their personal worlds with others. This can lead to superficial social relationships and individuals feeling more lonely and isolated. The solidarity in the film, however, is hopeful in showing that something human still lives deep down despite everything. I don't know if this was the director's intention, but it seems the artist and the philosopher saw the same thing. The themes in the film are universal problems that still exist in today's society. In this sense, In the Isles offers viewers both an emotional and intellectual experience. Thomas Stuber's subtle script is admirable in making us feel that a human perspective is possible despite everything. I think the film is one that witnesses its era.